seated. I absolutely love that in the epistle, endurance to patience, patience to hope, and hope to love. Today, unfortunately, I apologize now, your poor priest, your sinful priest doesn't have a homily ready. As many of you know, I've been very, very busy here lately, but I do have a short story. Hopefully I won't butcher it. Hopefully it'll resonate something with you. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but the story basically goes, and we're talking back in antiquity, around in Constantinople, almost at the height of Constantinople, and a father, he was getting into his elderly years, and he could no longer work, and he had a son, a very, very good son, who loved his father very, very much. And some of these things in here, you might hear a little scandalous in this story, but hear me all the way through. So the father says to the son, he says, son, he goes, I'm going to sell you as a slave to this very pious man. He's a very, very good man. And the money that I receive will help me get me through my elder years, to see me through. And the son is like, absolutely, father, whatever you need, I'll do it. And could you imagine such a thing? It's not only like kids or our children or even us as adults, especially as Americans, like, well, what's in it for me? Why would you do this? You know, da 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 da. No, here's his son. He's just like, hey, Father, I'll do it. You tell me what to do, and I will do it. And he says, I want you to listen to him just like you would listen to me. And because he is a good, pious man, I would just not hand you over to anyone. But then also to whatever he tells you to do, be obedient to him. But one thing you need to do, son, is whatever work he gives you, and when you happen to be on your way to that work or that chore that he has you do, and you walk by a church, you go over there. And so anyways, in that, he's obedient to it, and he does it. And so he sells his son into slavery, he gets some money, and the father sees him through his years. Now this man who receives the son is just so overwhelmingly filled with this great love and this humility that the man who bought him just begins to consider him like a son. 6 months in, he's just like, I love this kid. He's such a good kid. He does everything I ask him to do. And so he kind of worked up in the ranks, as weird as it sounds, through that system that was back then during Constantinople. But anywho, so he kind of becomes his right-hand man in a way, so to say. And the man was like a delegate, and they were on their way into Constantinople. And the man, as they like 15 minutes into their journey towards Constantinople, the man realized, oh my gosh, I forgot all my papers for this meeting and stuff. So he tells the son, hey, can you run back and get those papers for me? They're right on my desk, they're right here. And the son's like, absolutely. So he runs back and he gets the papers, and he's just focused. And this is the focus that we need to have as Orthodox Christians, right? Is the task that's given to us. I talked about endurance in the epistle, and we're all stuck on endurance. We can't even get past endurance to learn patience, right? And this kid is already going through this stage into patience, into hope, into love. And so anyways, he gets the papers, and he gets them, but off on the side in this room, the wife of the man who bought the son is having an affair with another slave. And she just assumes that she had seen him. But the son was so focused on what his task, he didn't pay attention to anything else. He left. So she already assumed she was busted, caught red-handed with the other slave, and they began to conspire. They began to figure out ways to lie to the husband about this whole thing. So anyways, the son goes, they have the meeting, the son brings the paperwork, they have the meeting, and the slave owner comes back, and the wife disheveled herself, she threw dirt on herself, kind of tore her clothes, and she said, that man that you consider your son, he defiled me. He defiled me. And the man is just like, oh my gosh. Like, how could I be so wrong about this guy? I can't even believe this. And he's just grieved. And the wife is like, and it's something like out with St. John the Baptist, she's like, I don't want him gone. I want his head on a plate. I want his head because he defiled me, right? So anyways, the man, the slave owner, he goes to the judge. And he says, Judge, he goes, I need you to kill this guy. He defiled my wife, blah, blah, blah. And the judge is like, I can't just kill anybody without any evidence at all. So what they did is they said, well, I'll tell you what, because he was a prominent man and this would have been a big scandal, right? And so kill the little ones off, right, is our system today, even though the ones that are up high are the ones usually doing the wrong, but it's us who usually suffer for it. So anyways, they find 2 slaves to give false accusation, and that was enough for the judge. And he says, well, I'll tell you what we'll do is send the young man, the obedient one, the son, to my office, and my executioner will tell him to come and pick up a package at my office, and my executioner, what he will do is, as soon as he shuts the door, he'll be right there, and we'll take his head off for you, and we'll package it, and we'll bring it to your wife for you so you know that the deed has been done. So anyways, the son, by his master's will, he tells him, go to the judge's office as he has a package for me. Please pick it up and return it to me. So the son on his way to pick up this package, the so-called package, well, he walks by a church. And there's a service going on. And it's a vigil. And it's a very, very long vigil. And especially to our standards today, even in the old believers who have like 3.5, 4.5 hour, 5 hour vigils, these were 7-hour vigils. And so during that vigil, the young man went in and he stayed for the entire service for 7 hours. Well, at this point, the wife and the slave that she was having the affair with her lover began to get squirrely, and they're like, what's going on and stuff like that. So the slave that was having the affair is like, you know what, I'll go and check on and see what happened. So he goes, to the judge's office, and he goes in and he walks in. As soon as he shuts the door, wham, head goes flying off on there. They package it up, and the vigil ends. And the young man, he goes to the judge's office after the vigil was done, because he listened to his father first and was obedient to him and stayed at the vigil. And then he goes to the judge's office, he picks up the package, and then he brings it back to the wife and to the slave owner. And when they unwrap it, the wife absolutely almost dies. She almost passes out because it's her lover's head that's in this package and stuff like that. And the pious man, the truth of the whole matter comes out. And actually, the interesting thing, the pious man doesn't even divorce his wife, because God, in his way, when the wages of sin are death, the wife actually goes crazy. She goes mad. She goes insane. And the son that was obedient, by listening not only to his father, but also listening to that whom he sold to this pious man, God revealed the truth. And the whole point of that thing is that the young man was obedient when others were not, when others were deceiving at the end of the day. And over time, what happened is that young man became the heir apparent to that man and became a delegate within Constantinople. And so the short to end this quick little story is, what did we learn? Children, listen to your parents. Be obedient to your spiritual fathers for the older ones. Get to church services. Get to church services on time and stay to the end. Through the prayers of Holy Fathers and Mothers, Lord Jesus Christ, our God, have mercy on us. Amen.